Tinambacan. In this video, we will be presenting to you a performance-based assessment, which is persuasive speech. In the context of public speaking, speech delivery refers to the presentation of the speech you have researched, organized, outlined, and practiced. Speech delivery is important, of course, because it is the most immediate to the audience. One of the examples of speech delivery that students will be doing is persuasive speech.
Persuasive speech aims to inform, educate, and convince or motivate audience to do something. Students, therefore, are essentially trying to sway the audience to believe on their viewpoint and to communicate with confidence and preparedness.
We will be doing a persuasive speech about encouraging everyone to take action on protecting and preserving our environment.
There will be two rubrics that will be used to rate this performance. That is analytic rubric and holistic rubric.
The holistic rubric has 4 evaluative criteria with corresponding rating scale with a total point of 60. The first criterion is the speaker demonstrates sophisticated, thorough, and accurate knowledge of the subject matter. The ideas are presented in an engaging, clear, and are mindful for audience and purpose. The speaker uses sophisticated and varied language, speaks with fluctuation in volume to maintain audience interest, and key points are fully emphasized. Holds attention of entire audience with the use of direct eye contact, appropriate posture, and uses props and costumes creatively and appropriately. The audiences are highly convinced and recognize the validity and importance of the subject, and the speech finished within allotted time. This is with a total point 46 to 60.
The second criterion is the speaker demonstrates a solid but not sophisticated knowledge of the subject matter. The ideas are presented in a clear and thorough manner, showing awareness of the audience and purpose. The speaker uses varied and somewhat sophisticated language, speaks with satisfactory variation of volume, and display good posture. There is a consistent use of direct eye contact with the audience, and the props and costumes meets expectation. The audience is convinced of most points, and the speech finished within 10% of the allotted time. This is equivalent to 31 to 45 points.
The third criterion is the speaker demonstrate only a partial knowledge of the subject matter. Some problems with clarity, thoroughness, and delivery are evident. It is unclear whether the audience and purpose is taken into account. The speaker uses appropriate language, yet lacks a level of sophistication. Speaks in an even volume, and gestures are somewhat inappropriate. There is a display of minimal eye contact with audience, and inappropriate use of props and costumes. The audiences are convinced of some points, and the speech is finished within 20% of allotted time. This is equivalent to 16 to 30 points.
The last and fourth criterion is the speaker demonstrates a poor, superficial knowledge of the subject matter. There is vague idea and confusing key points. The speaker uses language that is unsuitable to the topic, audience, and purpose. It holds no eye contact with the audience, no props and costumes, and speaks in monotonous tone, which causes audience to be bored, fails to convince the audience of the topic, and the speech finish not within 20% of the allotted time. This is equivalent to 0 to 15 points.
Now, for analytic rubric, it has 6 criteria with corresponding ratings, namely excellent, which has 9 to 10 points, good, which has 6 to 8 points, satisfactory, which has 3 to 5 points, and lastly, the needs improvement, which has 0 to 2 points. First criterion, content and organization. Its indicator for excellent The speech has a fully focused topic with clearly communicated understanding of the speech purpose, always comprehensible, and having a powerful grasp of related ideas within full development of points. There is an appropriate use of transitions and logically organized points. For good, its indicator is the speech has an adequately developed the main point of the speech and display appropriate focus understanding of the speech purpose. Almost always comprehensible clear use of related ideas with development of major points and some transitions are being used. For satisfactory, its indicator, the speech has a partially developed focused topic with some understanding of the speech purpose. Gist and main ideas are comprehensible, which are related to topic, but explanation lack of connection, and the organization started to weaken. Lastly, for needs improvement, its indicator, the speech has a minimally developed sense of topic with vague sense of the speech purpose. Isolated gist is not comprehensible, and ideas loosely connect with the main topic. Speaker display poor organized ideas.
Now, for the second criterion, we have appropriateness and factualness of language. Now, for excellent, its indicator is the speaker used sophisticated language suited to the topic and audience, and the language is well chosen and no errors in grammar. For good, the indicator is the speaker used appropriate and somewhat sophisticated language. Choice of words are concise and grammatically correct. For satisfactory, its indicator is the speaker used appropriate language yet lacks a level of sophistication. There is a few grammatical errors. And for needs improvement, the indicators are speakers use language that is unsuitable to the topic, audience, and purpose. The word choice does little to convey the main ideas with a lot of grammatical errors.
For the third criterion, we have the use of body language, verbal and nonverbal. For excellent, its indicator, it has a strong and effective combination of appropriate eye contact, vocal clarity and gestures serves to enhance speaker's words. For good, its indicator, good and consistent use of eye contact, vocal clarity and the gestures add to speech effect. For satisfactory, its indicator, its display of minimal eye contact, the vocal clarity is adequate, and pacing gestures. The vocal clarity is adequate, and the pacing gestures somewhat inappropriate. Last, for needs improvement, its indicator, no eye contact, vocal clarity and awkward gestures interrupt the flow.
Now, for the fourth criterion, we have the use of props and costumes. Now, for excellent, its indicator is the speaker used costumes and props creatively and effectively. Now, for good, the speaker used props and costumes that meets the expectation. For satisfactory, the speaker used the costumes and props inappropriately. And for needs improvement, the speaker did not use any costumes and props.
The fifth criterion is time. For excellent, its indicator, within allotted time. For good, its indicator, within 10% of allotted time. For satisfactory, its indicator, within 20% of allotted time. And lastly, for needs improvement, not within 20% of allotted time. So that's its indicator for needs improvement.
Now, for the last and sixth criterion, we have overall impact. Now, for excellent, its indicator is display professionalism and fully convince and catch audience attention throughout the speech. For good, its indicator is show some professionalism and audience interest is maintained most of the time and are convinced of most points. Now for satisfactory, its indicators is seems professional and audience interest falters at times and are convinced of some points. And lastly, for needs improvement, its indicator is shows no professionalism and fails to convince the audience for the topic. Now those are the holistic and analytic rubrics for persuasive speech.
What is environment? How significant is environment in our life? Do we have the responsibility to take good care of it? How can we save our environment? These are the common questions that we humans want to address, as we are now experiencing tremendous effects of global warming and climate change. Environment is our immediate surroundings in which we live in, and something that sustains us. It provides us abundant resources that we could access. It plays a massive role in the kind of person we grow to be. Thus, saving our environment is vital for sustaining humanity. Because in a hazardous and unsafe environment, none of us will survive. There are many environmental issues that we need to address. First, there are many human activities that contribute in destroying our environment. Some of these are pollution, overpopulation, waste disposal, illegal mining, and overfishing that happen due to our disobedience and neglect of duty to protect and preserve our environment. More to that, there are harmful gases in the air that poses a serious threat to our environment. The uncontrollable use of automobiles has also an increasing effect. It produces harmful gases like carbon monoxide. Seeing these effects are depressing. Should we wait for our environment to give up on us before we could do something? No, we should not wait. That by 2060, hundreds and thousands of species, renewable and non-renewable resources, and the goodness of nature will go extinct. We all affect our mother nature, but we are often unaware of how much we badly destroy it. However, we can still change it, and that change starts within ourselves. We should change our lifestyle simply by using limited water for bathing, cooking, washing our dishes, and doing the laundry. Let's start use eco-friendly substitutes like paper and cloth bags. And of course, let's not forget to educate ourselves about the cause and effect of the different phenomena that is happening now in our environment. Let's not always use our private vehicles. Instead, take public transport. And lastly, don't forget to always save the electricity. We can organize a clean-up drive at our local community and develop a proposal or funding an environmental program. The government must and should implement strict laws, especially for those industries who are releasing toxic waste for proper waste management. We should handle with care the risk and dangers of exhausting our fossil fuel resources on Earth and protect the innocent sea life.
Humankind has advanced in many ways, but in our race, we compromise our natural environment, especially with the bloom of technology advancement.
Our future generation needs to have a safe and healthy environment.
We must save our mother nature
From pollution
toxicity, and contamination,
to live safely.
and without fear.
This is our chance to take good care of our whole ecosystem.